and thank you for inviting me to this event to talk about this relevant topic on APIs. Well, first of all, an introduction. My name is Juan García. I'm Senior Vice President for Technology Innovation Ecosystems at Telefonica. Working on the relationship of the company with external bodies with which we make the technological development. The topic of Edge and Open APIs is one of the ones I'm dealing with, and I'm pleased to share with you in the next minutes a bit what is our view from Telefonica on the topic. Okay, let me just give a short introduction of what I'm going to talk about. So the first thing is that, on the API work, we are not starting from scratch. I think there is a lot of work being done on notification in the last 5-10 years in the industry. I think much of this work is being done on the IT systems, on the IT departments, and has helped a lot to improve the efficiency in those systems. And this is reflected in the work that is done by bodies like the TM Forum. Okay, if you look at the open digital architecture of the TM Forum, one of the key elements of that architecture is precisely the open APIs that allow to connect the different modules in the IT map. No? Especially the open APIs that are providing a seamless connectivity and portability across ecosystem services has given a lot of efficiency and flexibility to the system. No? And also providing a single and coherent management of services delivered by the telecom operators. And this is a strong experience that can be now used by operators and other service providers to develop, integrate, and deploy new advanced digital services in a much more efficient and agile way. No? And here I will give you probably some examples of how we are integrating digital services that all of you well know in the Telefonica TV service, no? Worldwide. There is also a chance, as I said, of taking all this experience that we have had on IT systems and service platforms also to the network. No? And not just to bring something that was already achieved in the IT systems, productivity, efficiency, and performance, but also creating new opportunities for developing new services and business, no? Especially around something that is new for telecom operators, that is the network as a service services. This is not just representing a technological challenge, no? It's more also a change of paradigm in the business models, making the networks become a digital service platform and developing something that someone named as network as a platform. No? The network becoming a place where application developers can use capabilities to bring new experiences on existing applications or even develop new applications and services. And let's go a bit more into details on what was the experience with IT. Okay. So I think that the start of the amplification process was looking more on at managing the complexity of the IT system, no? Converting the IT systems that were monolithic into modular reusable components that were integrated to each other via open APIs was something that has produced a lot of benefits, no? And this is also something proven and a regular practice in the IT industry. No? We have seen how the cost, time, and effort for integrating different systems was reduced. We saw how agile was the introduction and evolution of systems. We saw also the possibility to swap certain components and get to best-of-breed solutions for our IT systems. And also this flexibility is helping us to incorporate innovations in different modules and functions very quickly, no? and improve the innovative nature of our IT systems. It has also brought the possibility to extract data from systems in a standard way and do analytics on top of that and bring high levels of automation out of this data based on machine learning, modeling on the systems, and applying artificial intelligence also for some closed loops for automation. And finally, providing with all this simplification also the possibility to change the digital customer experience, providing tools for the customer to self-care, no? to do things on their own without the intervention of human operators. This has made a significant change on the IT landscape, not only saving costs, no, but also improving the satisfaction of customers as they could receive the service faster and also receive innovations in the services they enjoy faster. Okay. But all this experience has been, of course, also used by telecom operators to increase the speed in which they develop digital services. We will see again the example of Telefonica later on. And a faster way to integrate new functionality into existing services. The Open APIs has helped us to avoid trying to deploy again all the operational administration functionality every time we develop a function or a service. So many of these functions like identity and access management, security and privacy control, monitoring, analytics are functionality that can be reused in the different modules. Also the architecturing of the service platforms in modules has helped in increasing the agility in the evolution of these service platforms. Also the possibility of not having to replace a full platform, but just modules that require a renewal or a patch or solving a problem. And also the possibility to integrate very fast innovations from third parties. No? This has been especially important for the B2B segment, where we have been able to provide agile response to our customers to specific demands. No? And this is the second facet of the Open APIs that has helped us also to increase revenues, to bring innovation to the solution to our customers. No? And this has happened again in the last 5 to 10 years with very good results. No? And this is an example of the TV service provided by Telefonica in all the footprint. It is called Movistar. And it comes with a hardware that is designed by Telefonica, that is the remote control and the home assistant that is linked to the TV, no? And is offering an interactivity to the customer with the TV service that is probably quite differential. No? All this interactivity and these capabilities have been made available to application developers and also internally to the teams in Telefonica to deliver a lot of services, interactive services over the TV. No? We have opened this digital home platform again to these third parties, and they have been able to integrate a lot of services that you usually use on PCs, on the mobile, and now you can enjoy also in your sofa, in your living room, and with a big screen that is your TV. No? The integration of all these services that, you can see there are some examples, no? Social networks like TikTok or Twitter. You can see there also the possibility of making purchases with Amazon services over the TV screen, buying tickets for events with Rakuten, playing games like Fortnite or Xbox, watching and interacting with soccer matches with La Liga, and even having training and learning in your TV, no? With the integration with LinkedIn Learning. All of this has been done in very short time, so in few weeks. And these were integrations that happened in the past in months, no? And were very costly and difficult to manage. No? For giving you an example of how flexible this is, so we're introducing 70 new features every year in the video service solution, and we have integrated more than 80 partners already in the ecosystem with all these living apps accessible directly through the screen and using the remote control or the remote assistant that we have at the home. You can see the reach of this, more than 100 million TV customers worldwide in the Telefonica group. with a high usage per day of the screen. 6 hours and a half means a lot of attention time, where now these digital services can have also a space. And this is, of course, evolving every month, every day, and adapting to the needs and likes of our customers. This same approach is applied also with the B2B customers, where we can offer to different partners the access to our capabilities to integrate their solutions in our platform, in our ecosystem. Being able to combine solutions or orchestrating solutions from different providers to give place to sectorial solutions that can cover the needs of a certain vertical. You can see there some of the ones that we are working with: security, health, financial services, energy, or e-learning. All of them are integrated, reusing what our platform is offering, that is identity and access management, a certain set of open APIs that give access to functionality of the service platform, like billing, payments, etc. And also a lot of control on the data and the privacy. That is extremely relevant to comply with all the rules and legislation around data protection and privacy of the data of our customers. All of this is done over a platform that Telefonica calls the Telefonica kernel. That is the one that is making these APIs and functionality accessible for the third party to facilitate the integration. And this is probably one of the tools that is helping us in setting up a network of partners, more than 300 partners globally for our Telefonica Tech business unit. That is the one in charge of developing the digital services inside the Telefonica group. All the agreements that we are closing on cloud and cybersecurity and IoT and big data with a lot of service providers worldwide, again, more than 300, has been possible and easy and flexible thanks to the availability of this open API platform. Has given us the chance to get to recognitions in the industry as a leader in IoT connectivity for the 8th times in a row in Gartner, and also receive some awards on security services from Global Data and IDC, for example. And this is the same thing that can be applied to the network. I think the experience we had on IT systems and service platform, it is now a possibility also if we apply that to the network. And this is probably highly made possible because of the network softwareization process. Network technologies are becoming cloud native based on cloud and software-defined networks. And this is facilitating the digitalization. This is facilitating the network systems to start opening APIs to allow the control and the access to the data of the network system, something that didn't happen in the past with the network systems that were black boxes, closed and not accessible from the outside. This is changing. Now provision and configuration in many of the technologies can move from CLIs and scripts to APIs and workflows and be done by software and remotely. Also, all the big data, artificial intelligence, machine learning is allowing us to monitor the network user and performance, to react to changes and anomalies, and even predict trends and evolutions and react or anticipate to these possible anomalies. Also allows to monitor and assurance in real time the SLAs and quality of experience of the services, and also give room for external parties to access to network information and control through specific interfaces that the network systems are defining for getting this access and control. Network expansion function, the CEF, the network data analytics function, or the management data analytics function offered by 3GPP systems are an example, but are not the only ones. Things are evolving and moving forward. And here the opportunity is to, again, apply the same approach as in IT. Now that we have a network that is becoming software, we can open the capability to third parties. And here, when we talk about capabilities, we talk about a wide range of them. We are talking about network services, okay, offering different capabilities of the network as a service, even a full network, a network slice to a customer. Also computing capabilities inside the network, edge computing. Even capabilities that our platforms may have, and here I'm talking about OSS and business platform like identity management or messaging, or even capabilities like billing or payments. No? All these can be made available to third parties. And if this is done in a dynamic way, on demand, via an open service API, it can be a great growth opportunity for new business development, allowing third parties that were not previously our customers, so the application developers, solution developers, will allow them to develop and then deploy new applications that were not possible before, no? Because of probably the lack of control over the performance and characteristics of the network connectivity. And this again follows the same thing. So something that is helping initially to help the efficiency and productivity in our networks, increasing also the control and customer satisfaction, avoiding problems in the network, or anticipating to problems in the network, and ensuring a quality of experience, is also possible to use to create new revenue opportunities and bring additional innovation. No? Examples like this, as we have seen in the previous presentation, so the support for metaverse applications will require a strong control of the connectivity performance. And the Web3 business will require also a lot of additional capabilities like identity management, etc. And of course, things like remote control of vehicles as well will demand a strong control on the network characteristics and performance, and could be an opportunity, for this network as a service business. But we are still not there. So I mean, the evolution of the network to cloud native technologies is ongoing. No? We are in the middle of that process. So we are getting there in some technologies like the 5G standalone core or many of our service platforms, but we are still lagging behind in others like the fixed and mobile access network or the transport network. No? We need to complete this digitalization process again to be able to exploit and maximize the opportunities of the network APIs. We need also to work on something that is the simplification of the service APIs. No? At this moment, 3GPP and other bodies are providing APIs to get access to information and control of the networks that are still too complex. No? And examples in 4G are the SCEF or the PCRF. In 5G, the network exposure function, network data analytics functions that I mentioned earlier. But these are too complex for application developers to use. No? We need an abstraction layer, a simplification layer in between that exposes much simpler APIs to application developer and makes the transformation function of these APIs into the more complex network APIs downstream. This is a work that GSMA is doing for 3 years now on the operator platform group, and that is ongoing in the industry. No? But it's a necessary tool that we will have to implement and standardize. Okay. It is very relevant to take into consideration two things. So first, that APIs needs to be simple, to be massively used by the developers and reach and be accepted in their ecosystems where they develop the applications. And second, they need to be standard, okay, so that they can be made available across all networks worldwide, having technology providers and telecom operators taking decisions to invest on those APIs because there will be a wide market open with them. Okay, so reach will be also relevant for adoption. So this is like a cycle. So the more reach you have, the more interesting will be the interface to the customer, and the more customers, the more interesting will be for someone to invest on it. But I think the standardization of APIs is something that will make this cycle probably easier to manage. And there is something relevant also to mention here, that is that the standardization of also the service APIs needs to be standard, no? But the standardization process we have in the telecom industry are still too low, no? Too slow. They follow a waterfall model, and that probably doesn't fit with the need of speed that is required in the new world, no? of online applications and digital services. No? And for this reason, in the telecom industry, there have been changes in the last months. There was a project being announced in Mobile World Congress this year, a few months ago, where operators were together with the rest of the industry, were trying to change the standardization process for this service API, moving to a more agile and cloud style, where the APIs are refined based on contribution from members of the community. And there is not the need to have a technical specification agreed and perfectly specified by the industry before making an implementation and validating the implementation, the development and implementation with customers. Okay. The principle here is this code is first. So let's develop the solution, validate it with customers, and then take it for the standardization. Okay, and that is a significant change in what the telecom industry has done so far. This project is a result of the collaboration of the GSMA, that is the biggest association in the telecom industry, and the Linux Foundation, that is the association for the cloud, to develop these APIs. There is a process in which, of course, GSMA brings technical requirements, brings identification of capabilities that can be used and exposed to customers, make all the prioritization and alignment on requirements, and manage the API backlog. But it's all the work being done on the Camara Linux Foundation project. That is where really the API is developed and tested with customers. Hopefully ending up in a standardization of the APIs that are more widely adopted. Okay. The initial setup of members were 25, with the biggest operators, cloud providers, and technology providers. And this initial set is being increased every week, having now additional 15 members since March. Another important aspect here is that when we are talking about APIs and service APIs, of course, the ones that should drive the requirements and priorities are the customers. Okay, so we'll have to get in contact with the customers, work with them to understand what they need and how they want to use the service APIs, and set the path for us telecom operators on how we need to deliver the APIs, and which are the priorities, which ones are more valuable for them. Okay, so this collaboration is extremely important. It needs to take place, and we need to integrate them in the process of developing, standardizing the APIs. Okay, this is another important message. And as a summary of all this, our impression that tapification has been a very successful tool applied in IT that has allowed us, many operators, especially those working on digital environments like Telefonica, to integrate and deploy new advanced digital services very quickly, so in periods of weeks and not months or years. This is an experience that we can take now to the network, okay, with a network that is becoming cloud native, that is becoming software, that is becoming more open, okay, that is providing opportunities for data and control to external parties. We can take the chance of increasing productivity, efficiency, and performance by using this modular architecture and these APIs. But we can also open a new opportunity by selling these capabilities to third parties through a platform that can control not only the access to the APIs and the network systems, but also to ensure that everything is controlled in terms of security, privacy, and authorization. This will not be, I would say, without effort. Networks will have to become a digital service platform, but there is a lot of work to be done. Okay, still there are a lot of parts of the network that needs to become cloud native and evolve to software-based architectures. We need also to prepare a platform to expose the APIs with all the right controls of identity, of security, of privacy, of performance, so that we ensure that they are not affecting the performance, quality, and service continuity on the underlying network systems. We need also to standardize the APIs, but also need to use a different standardization process. And there are already projects in place to work in this direction. And finally, there is something we should not forget, that is working with customers and developer ecosystem will be fundamental to be sure that the service APIs are successful, and this means widely adopted by the developer community and also widely available in all telecom operators worldwide.
Thank you very much. Interesting. I think a lot of the BSS so far has been tackled with APIs, but the network and the OSS is a really different idea. What sort of time frame do you think this evolution where the network begins, the APIfication of the network begins?
Well, I mean, we are already getting there, no? I mean, we have the first experiences, important ones. There are still experiences that are individual in telecom operators. In our case, for instance, in Telefonica, we are able to control the experience on the home network, on the Wi-Fi system. So we have already APIs to be able to ensure a right experience on the home. But I think the industry will have to work in a coordinated way and offering standard APIs. No? And again, we have started opening this Camara project in Linux Foundation in March this year. So the expectation is that we will have the first APIs developed already along 2022, so this same year.
Okay.
That next year we'll have the first, examples in the market of APIs that are based on Camara, so based on this standardization body, and that are made available to the first customers. Okay, this will not happen from one day to another. I think the portfolio of network as a service APIs will be smaller at the beginning and will start growing over time as we prove that this new way of working really works and delivers. Okay, so I think it's also the speed of development will depend much, first on the contribution of telecom operators, and second on the adoption by developers. And as you know, in an open source community, you cannot predict what happened. You try to create a network effect.
Yeah.
And by now, the only thing I can say is that we are very happy to see in this Camara project together communities from the cloud, from the main cloud providers, telecom operators, and also big technological providers, not technology providers. And I think this is already a good traction for development. Okay.
We have a question. Our question at Tool says, great presentation. While you are trying to expose APIs of your network capabilities, would you look at participating in marketplaces of hyperscalers to expose your network capabilities directly?
Well, something I mentioned during the presentation is that the customers are first, okay? And customers are the application developers. At this moment, they are working on the ecosystems that these hyperscalers are providing, and very likely they will like to keep on developing applications there. So we will have to integrate our network APIs in those application development environments. And then, of course, the hyperscalers will be a marketplace and a channel for the network APIs for sure.
Okay. Juan Carlos, thank you very much indeed. We look forward to watching the progress. I think this is such a key area for telecoms. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.